life, but you a gospel life, bitch. What you talking about? If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. How I keep that stick line loaded, boy, here pages line up. Y'all nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Psycho shit, we bout it. You be case, you solid, Cause bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing. I bitch, I ain't the one. Walk back every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need to love. Cause right round the way, what you think I love this brotherhood? Boy, you bitch. Shower shit, I'm body. You PK too solid. Fuck nigga don't want walk. It ain't no clips in your arm. All the bitch wanna take my piece. All the hoe wanna take my piece. All the nigga wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe, so they hear you coming. And these bitches really out this bitch walking around like they don't know nothing. And I let a nigga fall home and get set up for the coins and get guns down, man down. Shit, the time gets damn low. But I see the sorrow and the show. She can never get a preach whore. Get a dirt down, roast that neck bitch with a fake ass jewelry. In Tennessee, well, jewelry. It's a Tennessee, what she looking? And the sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that big mug. And I say, if that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. Hawk, I keep that stick loaded for hip pages line up. Your nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Psycho shit, we got it. You PK too solid. The bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing. I bitch, I ain't the one. Walk back every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need to love. Killers right round the way. What you think I love this brotherhood? You a lame nigga than the meat. It can't put on sucker free. You a little nigga than the meat. Makes up while I fit a beat. Yeah, AR to the beat. Draco with a magazine. And a clip full of limousine. I shoot your ass in the spring. While I put your ass in the temple. With the bang, by the temple. That true boy, you a victim. You throwing off like a liquor. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass OP. I'm a real big priest, nigga. You can't play for keys, nigga. Commanding to get a damn order, but ain't nothing me to kill you. I stuck his ass like a cat. All weapons boys full of tech. Boy, like a close comeback. And got popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. How I keep that stick loaded for your page line up. Your nigga name is Slayer. What you think? Well, you be done to try. Psycho shit, we got it. You PK, you solid. They think I'm crazy, think I'm playing. I bitch, I ain't the one. Walk back every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need to love. Killers right round the way. What you think I love this brotherhood? What you bitch? Like that, second we're gonna get one nigga in the head time. Nigga, fuck you wrong with you, boy. Straight by that damn whole ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you. That fucking job, we gonna be rich tomorrow. For that fucking job, it ain't no more grind. For that fucking job, boy, I'm sick and tired. For that fucking job, all that bitch in the grind. And I say, for that fucking job, for that fucking job, bitch. For that fucking job, we gonna be rich tomorrow. For that fucking job, it ain't no more flying. Fuck that fucking job, bitch, I done had enough. Fuck that fucking job, I'm watching everybody work. Fuck that fucking job, that little pain by the hour. Fuck that fucking job, my back hurting and I'm hungry. Yeah, fuck that fucking job, dude. Oh, so, yeah, opportunity to get his money to go home. Business day, first day I came in, I bust up on the boss. And they promised nigga that, want my ass to work and bring that paper back. Shop for your dad, I been kicking shit. Knowing damn well I don't fucking sleep. For that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. For that fucking job, it ain't no more crime. For that fucking job, boy, I'm sick all the time. One thing, boy, you gotta get hit. Bills for some niggas. That's like keep a nigga damn a slave. Money supposed to be a tool. For a purpose, what your purpose for? That fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. For that fucking job, it ain't no more crime. For that fucking job, I'm sick and I'm tired. For that fucking job, all that bitch in the crime. For that fucking job, for that fucking job, bitch. For that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. For that fucking job, it ain't no more crime. You should go too, man. Money supposed to be a tool, but what's your purpose though? It's supposed to benefit a purpose. Shout out Boom Man there. Yeah, you know what it is. I'm 40 for the rap, I'm busy man, shit, nigga. They tell me with these didn't Adam, I just pray my love don't lie to me. Swing the eye like stamps and I can't let no hope get lie to me. I don't feel these rappers, all they lies, this hypocrisy. Ain't no competition, ain't no rivalry. Niggas think I'm playing, I don't hear one word they saying, this shit light work. Muhammad one of us, he might lose his life first. Struggle up and stay loose. Never stop to stress the nigga. He is niggas, it's an exorcism. Watch how blessed the nigga. Put that open blood, then you know it's gonna get acting with you. From your opposition, I see vision. Let me take the picture. After standing spin, I ain't listening. She's in fact the picture. Beans was a woman, now I stole that bitch like James. We gonna run it cover. It's gonna be historical. When they making plays, make them niggas call the audible. And you run this shit, but they question is rhetorical. Bitch, I'm the one, me cookies with the oil. I'ma get him crack as hell. Should've never kidnapped my family. I can't do better. Can I be the last nigga standing? Do it like shit for my niggas. Pray you understand it. I might put a switch on it, block and call it young boy. How you real triggered on the shot? You a bird feeder. Play me here, teacher. What's it demon to a cold liver? What he said, something I ain't here. This shit life first. Oh, who got this gun? It's all who gon' hunt that pipe first. I turn a bad situation to a game change. Soldiers from the dead. Just wait up the change. Got someone look like Aaron Jones when I run. Never break their hand in pieces. You will never get their hand back. Bitch, about 10%. I don't want to hear none of that. He drop a sword, fuck him. Just make sure you get that cover back. Look around. He ain't me, probably because he never fought. I'm not seeing how you with that anger for your cover. Everybody won't be what you want. God kept like Alpo. Play if you want to stand in the trunk like Lee Malvo. I'm certified from a nigga. I ain't not a toy. Hey, I was at Hollow Shine. Yeah, this the river car. Feel like Gonna Jack when I'm in Fayetteville. You get it, boy. Still, I think they saw that I went get it, boy. Loud they stop to call the bell run. Fucking gang. Come on over demons like a hell, boy.
Hey, shalom, shalom, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah, Yahweh Shemal Athah Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, to my brothers and to my sisters. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. And since 1969, we've been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians their culture according to the Bible. That's everything that you need to know about life, death, and in between. If anybody got any questions or anything that you want to know about the scriptures, you can reach out to a priest and officer or a captain and officer or a general and officer or even a trooper, you understand, in your state. We have schools all over the world, schools all over America, all over the Caribbeans. You understand? Wherever you want to find, wherever you need to find information about the Bible, anything you want to know about the Bible, reach out to the ISUPK. We all online, isupk.com. You understand? You can find whatever you need. You understand? You can find the phone numbers all on Google, wherever you need. We are the ISUPK, and this is what we do. We break down these scriptures and we give you the truth according to the Bible. You can come in here and learn Hebrew. You can come in here and learn Greek. You can come in here and actually learn English. You understand? Learn what the words in the Bible mean. That's what the ISUPK is infamous for. We're infamous for teaching you exactly what we're infamous for teaching you exactly what these scriptures say. You understand exactly what you want to know in this Bible right here. Everything, all these little black words that you see, they mean something. I know in America things have changed up to the point to where it's almost like words mean nothing. But here in the ISUPK, we make the words come to life. We make the words actually work to your advantage. You understand? Actually give you the things that you need to be able to build your life, build your children's lives, and build your spouse's life in this hellhole that we call America. You understand? Give me 1 second. Let me put this on. All right, I don't think I need this anymore. Let me drop this. All right, let me all right, so just let me know if y'all can still hear me. I just plugged this mic up right here. I think I still should be good. Give me 1 second. Shalom, Lord in Christ. Let me get a second real quick, see if this can still be heard. Everybody good? Everybody good? So today what we'll be doing is I'll be going through this Bible and dispelling some of the lies that people have on the internet, or just clearing up a lot of the misconceptions and things that people clearly don't understand. You understand that throws people off. There are a lot of things that people read in the Bible and they're never explained to them, especially in the Christian church. A lot of these things, they just get thrown around. A lot of terms get used, you understand? But when it comes down to it, people don't understand these things because there's nobody there to teach them to them. The same way you have to learn everything else as you're coming up, the way you go to school and you learn, it's the same thing you got to do when it comes to the Bible. But like I said, y'all, give me a second and I'm telling you, we're going to go. Hold on. Go to your Facebook on another device and number of notifications we set to approve this login. Oh, okay. They want me to do it. But anyway, we'll go back. We'll look at it in a minute. We'll go to it in a minute. Let's just start here. All right, so the first thing I want y'all to see this. Hold on, let me see if I can let me kill this light just real quick. All right, I wonder if it can be seen. Okay, so y'all see this first one, right? So it says, God creates light before the sun and the stars. This is the first thing that we're going to dispel, that we're going to go over and show people, you understand, what it is that's in the Bible and what is this whole thing about. These are the things that we're going to start to go over. So the first thing that they start to say is, just for anybody that want to know this is 101 of the craziest, strangest, and most ridiculous Bible absurdities. So that means that this is all kind of things from all kinds of people, anything that any Christian, atheist, Muslim, or, you know what I'm saying, whoever could possibly think of to more than likely either discredit the Bible or things that they do not understand about the Bible. And the first thing they say is God creates a light before the sun and the stars. Genesis 1:14 through 19. All right, so first, let's look at this light. Let's start at Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3. So it says, and the Most High said, let there be light, and there was light. So that's when the first light was created. Now, this is not the sun, it's not the moon, and it's not the stars. And we find that out in verse 14 and verse 15. Verse 14, excuse me. And the Most High said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give lights upon the earth. And it was so, and God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. So this is off the bat telling you that the light that he created in Genesis chapter 1, verse 3 is not the light that he creates in verse 14, 15, and 16, because it tells you that he created the sun, the moon, and the stars in verses 14 through 16. So that everybody has a clear understanding. When you go into the creation of the Bible, or when you go into the creation of the earth, the worlds, the stars, the moons, and all of these things, the first 7 days of the creation story, this is like going through the big boom theory. There was a very small light that was created by the Most High, Christ, and the angels. And then from that one light, everything else was created. That is the light that is spoken about in this first chapter. In chapter 1 and 3, that's the first light, or you would call the earth's core. This is what y'all got to understand. The sun is not the center of the universe. I know that we were told that in school, but it's not. The earth is the center of the universe, and everything moves around the earth. This is how you know the sun actually moves. These planets actually move. This is how the sun is able to go from one place to the other and go around, come closer, get further away. All of these things, we see these things happening before our face, but we're told that it's actually the earth moving and spinning so fast that it never, you know what I'm saying, that we don't even feel it. Everything that science teaches us is not actually accurate and true. We have to pull out and go and see some of these things for ourselves. Just go back and look at some of the things that we were taught in school, or some of the science that we were taught, and you will find out that a lot of it is not even actually facts. This is why these things are called theories. You understand? A lot of it, when you go back and listen to what a hypothesis is, it's an educated guess. These are all the things that we deal with when it comes to the science outside of these scriptures. The science within the Bible has been not just theoretically proven, but actually and factually proven. But this right here, again, this first thing that we're dealing with is that light. So that light that comes from, so that light that was created first was the earth's core. And from there, in verses 14, 15, and 16, then we start to see the creation of the sun, the moon, and the stars. So that clears up that light, or that misconception or contradiction. Let's move on to the next one. It says, God gets tired and rest. All right, so the Most High gets tired and rest. Genesis chapter 2, verse 2. Let's look at that. So does the Bible actually say that he got tired? Let's see. Genesis 2 and 2. And on the seventh day, the Most High ended his work, which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work, which he had made. Just to say, because somebody takes a rest does not mean they're tired. It just means that they stopped or ceased all the work that they were doing. To rest from something is to cease, to stop, to finish, to be done. That don't mean to go to sleep. That don't mean to be exhausted. That doesn't mean to be out of breath. You understand what I'm saying? Because first of all, the Lord is not a physical creature, or one that, you know what I'm saying, our conception of breathing and of breath and oxygen and H2O is not the same. The Lord's conception is not the same thing that the Lord deals with. He don't have to breathe H2O. The Lord is H2O. You understand? He is oxygen. He is hydrogen. He is all of these things that we are, that we breathe. You understand what I'm saying? So he doesn't have to breathe air. So it would make no sense to say the Lord got tired. And this is what I mean by when you're dealing with a lot of atheists or when you're dealing with a lot of people that do not understand the Bible, they like to add in things because really what they're trying to do is prove a point and discredit the Bible. They already have a dislike or a disdain for the scriptures. So they're trying to add in things that aren't actually in the scriptures to say, well, the Lord, like they said on here, the Lord got tired, when the Bible does not say that. And so actually, let me see something. I want to go into the Hebrew real quick. Let's go to Genesis chapter 2 and 2, and let me look at this Hebrew. So I'm going to pull up Bible Hub real quick. Give me 1 second. Let's pull up this Bible Hub and let's look at the word that they use. Let's look at the word that they use real fast. Let's go to Hebrew, Genesis chapter 2. Hold on. I don't know why this. Okay, here we go. It's making me go one by one. All right, so Genesis chapter 2. And then let's look at verse 2 right here. All right, so it says, while you call and ended Allahayim, the powers, by your womb on the day, or in a day, Hashabayaya, the seventh, Malachatawa, his work, Ashar, Aisha, which he done, Waya Shabbat, and rested by your womb in the day on the seventh from all the work, Salakia. So now it says that he did, it says rested, Waya Shabbat. Let's look at this word really fast. See if y'all can see that. Waya Shabbat, the word I got highlighted right there. Shabbat is the word. Let's look at that really fast. Hold on, let me go back. So it says to cease, desist, or rest. To cease. So you can easily say that that all this means is the Lord ceased his work on that day. Nothing more. It don't even get, it's not even that deep. It's not even that deep. Just to go there. All right, so now, number 99, it says Adam names every animal on earth. Let's use common sense here, people. Let's just use common sense. First of all, let's go to the scripture, Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. Let's go there. And Yahweh, the Most High, said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. And out of the ground, Yahweh, the Most High, formed every beast of the field and every fowl of the air and brought them unto Adam to see what he wanted, or what he would call them, and whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name thereof. Now, like I said, let's not be simple. I want to see what this. So this thing says the naming of several million species must have kept Adam busy for a while. Now, I know Adam lived for almost like 1,000 years, but he did not sit there and name a million damn species of every kind of bug, every kind of animal, every kind of rodent. Because first of all, we got to think about this. A lot of the animals and a lot of the bugs and birds and all the things that we see today did not exist in that time. The same way they like to say we had dinosaurs and all these different things, Tyrannosaurus Rex and all these things, they don't exist now. Those things are not around. So how in the hell would Adam sit here and name the Cocker Spaniel? How would Adam sit here and name the poodle or the Shih Tzu? Adam did not name, you understand? I don't even know if the flamingo was around. Whatever birds were around at the time, he did not have to name every species. Because even if you look and we use simple, basic common knowledge or common sense, there is a thing called a Siberian tiger. Or let's look at this really quick. Let's just look at this really quick. I'm going to type in different types of tigers. You have a Bengal tiger, Siberian tiger, Caspian tiger, Javan tiger, Sumatran tiger, all these different tigers to let you know that in certain areas you find certain animals. For a long time, elephants were not around and seen. For a long time, camels were not around and seen. If you go back and you do research on when they started using camels to domesticate, you got to understand that a lot of these animals and a lot of these things or birds and bugs were from intermixing, were from splicing seeds and putting these animals together. You understand what I'm saying? They put a lot of these animals together and made these animals to be one animal because they were trying to put something together and create another thing or create an animal that could do something that they needed it to do. So they made it for like a workhorse. The horse was broken and made to pull loads and carry people. What is the point of the horse out in the wild? Tell me that. What is the point? Because we know we're not even supposed to eat the horse. So was the horse always this big, strong thing that could pull? Or I tell me this, dogs, the house dog. Guess where they all came from? The wolf. So since all of these dogs came from the wolf, and they all started to breed short-haired dogs with long-haired dogs, short-haired dogs, dogs with long fangs and short fangs, and all of these different things to where now they got pugs, and they got these dogs that cost $3,000 and $5,000, but the dog looks sickly, but the dog is worth a lot of money. Adam did not name those dogs. So it wouldn't make sense to say that he sat and named every animal on earth. He didn't name all the different kind of cows. He named the animals that were in his area. That's simple. Let's move on. Cain gets a wife from out of nowhere. He did not get a wife from out of nowhere. Genesis chapter 4, verse 17. Let's read that first. I'm going to show you how we know that Cain didn't get a wife out of nowhere. Genesis chapter 4, verse 17. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bare Enoch, and he builded a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. Now, let's just read in this verse and understand how we know that Cain did not get a wife out of nowhere. That she did not just appear, because in Christianity, they teach you that it was only Adam, Eve, Cain, and Abel. That's 4 people on earth. Cain killed Abel. So now there's only 3 people on earth. This is what Christianity teaches you. But when you actually dive into the Bible and you go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, it says, let me go back one page, excuse me, and it says, and the Most High said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Now, when he says make man, that obviously does not mean just one man. That's the same as saying mankind or a lot of men, right? So it says after our likeness, and let them, you see that? Them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So you see, it said them, right? Now, let's go back to Genesis chapter 4, verse 17, and read within that verse that I was talking about. And it says, and he builded a city. Why would he need to build a city And how could he build a city if there were only three people on earth? A city is, you know what I'm saying, comprised of buildings, houses, you understand, infrastructure, irrigation, all of these things. First of all, one man could not build a city. Do you know how long it would take one man to build a house? How long it would take one man to build a grocery store? Or anything that people would have to populate. How would he build a city with one man and only three people on earth? Who would live in the city? It's a city that we're talking about. The city of Memphis has thousands and thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of people in it. Every city does. There's no way you can build a city that needs to have hospitals and grocery stores and banks and all these different things in it so that you can have a functional city. So to say that he got his wife out of nowhere, that's nonsense. Genesis 1:26 disproves that lie. Now, on to the next one. Noah had three sons when he was 500 years old. We don't even have to disprove that. As a matter of fact, let's just disprove that. First of all, I don't think he had all of his sons when he was 500 years old, because first of all, it says that the last son, which was Ham, he was born 96 years before the flood. Now, let's see if men can have children in old age. Because this is kind of what that's saying, that it's impossible for him to have had three sons at such an old age. Let's see if that's true. What age do men stop producing sperm? So, at what age do men stop producing sperm? Men typically never stop producing sperm, but there is a measurable decline in sperm quality as a man grows. The World Health Organization tells you that there is no time limit for men to stop producing sperm. So to say that he had children at the age of 500 and that's just ridiculous is not so ridiculous after all. Now, moving on to the next thing. God kills all living things because human imagination is evil. Is that really what happened? Let's see. Hold on, let me see. 6 and 5. Genesis chapter 6, verse 5. And God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth. Wait. So that it's already cutting whoever thought of this one. Whoever thought of this said God kills all living things because human imagination is evil. That's what this says. It says because he imagined it. So they trying to say that because we had wicked thoughts that God killed us, when really the Most High has demons. And the job of the demon is to put the wicked thought in your mind. That's the point of the demon, to put the wicked thought in your mind. So you mean to tell me that God created the demon that is to put the wicked thought in my mind? That's his job. And then I get killed for having the wicked thought? No, that's not how that works. You have to commit an action to do something for it to be a sin. You got to complete the action. And this right here tells you in Genesis chapter 6, verse 5, the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth. The wickedness of man being great in the earth means what? It means that they were doing wicked. They were doing evil. They were doing things that were of sin, that made the Most High say, I got to get rid of these people. They were doing things, doing wicked things. This doesn't say that he killed everybody The Most High got rid of everybody because of their imagination. It says, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So that means to tell you that they were doing wicked, and they didn't even have a thought of turning back from doing wickedness. They were just going to keep doing it, keep doing it, and keep doing it. There was no, maybe I shouldn't do this with these people. This is why the Most High said that he just got to get rid of everybody. There was none of that going on. There was no thoughts of repenting. So he had to do what he had to do. And it wasn't just because we thought about doing something wrong. That's nonsense. All right, so let's move on. The Most High kills everything to make the world less violent. What's wrong with that? He made the world beautiful. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, we read that he made it and he said that it was good. So now you mean to tell me he gets to make a creation and the creation just gets to tear up what he created? No. He's going to get rid of us. That's just like if you bring somebody over your house and they start to mess you up and dirty up your home. What are you going to do? You're going to tell them to get the hell out of your house. That's the same thing that the Lord did to the people. Let's just keep moving. Number 93. 50 million animals boarded Noah's Ark on the same day. We don't even have to. It wasn't even 50 million different kinds of animals in that area at that time. That's dumb as hell. That is completely illogical. Let's just keep moving. I don't even want to answer that. All right, so the Most High enslaves the Jews, his chosen people, for 400 years. The Most High can do what he wants. I mean, first of all, he didn't enslave us for 400 years. The Egyptians enslaved us, and the Most High saved us out of that slavery. The Lord is not a genie. The Lord is not a puppet master. He's not a string puller. He's not what people think he is. He's not somebody that just stands by and as you're about to get hit by something, he picks you up to make you jump over it or move you out the way. That's not what the Lord is realistic. You have to have life in order to have death. You have to have happiness in order to have sadness. You have to have these things. You got to have high to have low. You got to have yin to have yang, man. The Lord is realistic. He's not a spooky, ookie dookie, miracle, magic kind of thing that people have made up in Christianity. He's not that. He's going to tell you what to do like a good father will do and watch and see if you do it. That's what, if you want to compare the Lord to anything, he's like a father who watches. After he tells you, don't touch the plug, but then you go and touch the plug anyway, what happens? You get shocked. You stick something in the plug, you get shocked. And the Lord said, well, I told you, don't touch the plug. He gave us the instructions already in the Bible. That's the point of the Bible. That's the point of it. To tell us everything that we should and should not do. So that he ain't got to come down here on earth to tell us to do it. And because I'm going to tell y'all something else. What I'm trying to say, familiarity, I don't know, I can't say a word. Familiarity, whatever, familiarity. That's what I'm trying to say. It breeds hatred. When people are familiar with you and they see you all the time, they just get tired of you. So imagine if the Most High God had to come down all the time and tell us, don't do that. Don't do this. If he had to zap in and say, hey, watch out for that truck. Watch out for that baby. Don't let that person go into the street. Don't do this. Don't do that. You would not even listen to God. If you rebel. Because you will always be putting God to the test, saying, God, do this, God, do that, God, show me this, God, show me that. And you would never do anything that was righteous. Because you would expect God to always fix everything the way you already do now. Instead of you going out and fixing it yourself, you depend on the Most High God to fix these things for you. When that's not how God works, he's not a genie. He's not someone you can just ask and say, I need this, I need this, I need this, and he poof, there it is. You have to put in the action and put in the work to get the things that you want. And to make sure that the things that you don't want to happen to you, you got to put in the work to make sure that they don't. Don't sin and you won't have to repent. That's simple. Now let's move on. I want to keep going. The Sodomites want to have sex with angels. Hey, there's nothing I can say about that. Sodomites will have sex with anything. They're sodomites. That's just a real life, real life. That's real life activity. Lot offers his virgin daughters to the mob to do what they would want with them instead of having sex with the angels. Lot was only trying to he was trying to shame the people and guilt trip them and to make them say, you know what, we shouldn't actually be doing this. We shouldn't have a burning passion and a lust to where we want to have sex with these men and commit rape. You understand? And commit rape against a man or a woman. Lot offered up his people, offered up his daughters because he knew that these were messengers of the Most High God that came to him. And then he said, look, man, I'll give you my daughters, hoping that they would say in their minds, y'all, we wrong for doing this. We should just leave. But just like Sodomites are, they're unforgiving. Sodomites don't have that thing in their mind and say, I shouldn't do this. When it comes to sodomy, they are going to sodomize you. That's what they do. That's why they're called sodomites. These were a group of people, literally, this is how devious these people were. This was a group of people, probably a man named Sodom. A man named Sodom created a group of people that anally went into other people. That went into other people through the anus. And they did this so much that it was related to this group of people. And then from there, it was given to somebody else. Like sodomy became a verb. When it used to be a noun, it used to be a person, a place, a thing. It became something that people did constantly from one group of people. Now, let's move on. Jacob wrestles with God and wins. He did not wrestle with God. He wrestled with an angel. Let's read it. Genesis chapter 32. Let's go there. Let's go there really quick. Genesis chapter 32. All right, so 32, 24. Salaki, let's go to 24. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man. This clearly said a man, and wrestled with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. I'm trying to figure out what it says was God. Hold on. Let me go down to 28. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and hast prevailed. Okay, now I see where the confusion is. It still does not say that he wrestled with God. In verse 30, it says that, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. Again, this is something that you have to understand when it comes to Hebrew culture. The word, the word of God in the Bible has many different meanings. It can be a God. The scriptures say that ye are gods in Psalm 82:6. So it does not always mean the most high God. And you know this because remember in Genesis when I was reading about Adam, what did it say before it said God? It said Lord God. When you see those two back to back, it lets you know automatically that it's talking about the Most High God. But when you read Genesis chapter 1, and then you go into the Hebrew, the word Elohim or Elohim is different from the word Allah, which means the Most High God. That's what Allah means. Elohim means the powers or the judges or the gods. So there's many different kinds of gods. That's how you know. But our God, the one that we serve, is the Most High God. And this clearly, when you first start reading it in Genesis chapter 32, verse 24, it says that he wrestled with a man. And that man was called God. It was a man, but he was in a godly figure, or he was just like, again, we are gods. It just means an angel, power, authority, something like that. You understand? He was a messenger. That's all it was. He's just a black man. So let's keep going. It says the whole world came to Egypt to buy corn from Joseph. This is what I mean. When they add things onto the scriptures that you just know is not even in there, it don't even make sense. The whole world. When we know for first of all, we know that not even until until after the Assyrian captivity, we already know that America was not even founded. You understand what I'm saying? So that would be Canada, North, Central, and South America. It wasn't even founded yet. So how in the hell would the entire world be buying corn from Joseph? This is what I mean right here as we go through these things. If everybody can see this is 100 absurd things, 101 absurd things in the scriptures that we're just going through. And we're just going through and destroying these things are dumb. These things are very, 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 very dumb. I'm trying to see if I don't know how to make it like not do that. But anyway. All right, so Genesis 41, let's go there. Genesis chapter 41, verse 57. So on the contradiction thing, on the absurd page, it says that the whole world came to Egypt to buy corn. 41 and 57. Here we go. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn because there was a famine that was sore in all lands. Again, we know for a fact that America had not even been discovered. So there's no way that the famine reached all the way over here because of a famine or something that happened on the eastern side of the world. We're obviously talking about the countries that were nearby and near to that area. This is what I mean by we have to use common sense when we're talking about the Bible. And we got to use our mind and use the scriptures say that it's simplicity in Christ. There is simplicity in Christ. We cannot be simple when it comes to these things. When it says all the countries, again, I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm gonna just say this. I think that all of these contradictions and absurd things actually come from white people. And the reason I say that is because white people are the only ones that are always so literal. Like, they're the ones that be like, when you say I'll be there in 2 minutes, they really start counting 2 minutes. 60 seconds has passed. 60 seconds has passed. It's been 2 minutes. When you say all, they're the ones that say that's not definite. When you say I'm gonna take a couple of them, they say, well, here, one, two. You understand? They're the ones that's really literal. Black people have not ever been like that. We've never been a linearly thinking people. We've always thought circularly. We've always thought in a roundabout time. We've never been the people to say, I had to be there at 7:01:59, 7 minutes, the seventh hour, 1 minute and 59 seconds. We've never been that kind of people. We've always been the people that said, I'm gonna be there about 8. I'll be there at about 8:30. You know what I'm saying? When we say all the countries, we just mean that the ones that's over here. When I say I want everybody to come, I don't want everybody in the goddamn world to come and the earth to come. I want all the people that I know to come. All the people that I love to come. That's the point of all the countries. We don't mean every damn country on the earth. That's just simple. All right, so let's see, man. The Israelite population went from 70 to several million in a few hundred years. This was talking about Exodus, chapter 1 and 5, 7, 12, and 37, and 38, and 26. Now, I want to see something really quick. How many people are born a year? Let's see this first. Around 140 million babies are born every year, right? Now, let's look at this. More than half of all the births take place in Asia, with 25 million births in India, 16 million births in China alone every year. Now, if China is birthing 16 million people a year in the year, what year was this taken? This was 2023 and they took these stats. 16 million births in China. And you mean to tell me they have a problem? China is birthing people in literally, this is 1 year that we're talking about. 1 year. And they're birthing 16 million people. Now, we're talking about a time. Let me go back. We're talking about a time when Jacob, one man, had 4 wives and had 12 children. Now, you mean to tell me that these other men are not taking multiple wives, having multiple children? Think about black people before we came out of slavery. And we didn't even have multiple wives then, but our grandmothers was having 12 and 13 and 15 children by herself. There was no birth control. There was no stop it. There was no stop having children. They just kept having children until they couldn't. That's how it happened. So imagine saying that you can't get 70 million people out of a few hundred years. That's insane. When you got 16 million births happening in China every year. It's not that difficult to do. So let's just keep moving on. Common sense. I'm skipping over some of these because some of these are just condescending things. Like God has a heart-to-heart with Moses through a burning bush. First of all, we know that wasn't the Most High. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that it was God. The Most High shows Moses magic tricks. Again, that's condescending. We know that he was showing him to believe in him. He made his skin turn different colors and all kinds of different other things. God decides to kill Moses because his son wasn't circumcised. Nah. I'm trying to find something that's actually good. Some of these things are just miracles. God travels in a cloud by day and a fire by night. These are just whoever uses God's favorite perfume will be exiled. This is what I'm saying. A lot of these things are just condescending things that they don't even like. There's nothing wrong with these things. Like the Lord made something specifically for him, or specifically that the priest is supposed to use, and that nobody else is supposed to use or do. And you can get killed for these things. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Let me try. I'm trying to. Moses doesn't eat food or drink water for 40 days and 40 nights. Let's see something. So now, the longest recorded case of survival without food and water is 18 days. 18 days. So this would say without both food and water, a person cannot survive for more than 4 days. So how is the other one saying that the man's longest recorded case was 18 days with no food or water? Someone is lying. Someone is lying. This is what I mean. This is what I meant when I said that science is not always accurate. Because first of all, you got to take a person's body type and all of this into consideration before you can even say, yeah, they can't live without it. They can't live without it. It does not make sense to say that he couldn't live without food or water for 40 days. I'm trying to see. They put in here God's advice: circumcise the foreskin of the heart. Please, y'all, tell me what do y'all think that means? Like, I don't even have to. Again, that's what I'm saying. This is what I mean by when I say that most of these people just. It's simple understandings that they could have, but they don't want to have them because they already got something against the Bible. They already got something against the scripture. So for you to tell them something as simple as circumcise your heart, the foreskin of your heart, and they take that to say God wants you to cut your chest open and cut the skin off your heart. That is dumb. That is dumb, dumb, dumb. We know that the Most High God speaks in metaphors because black people speak in metaphors. That's just the way it is. The Lord speaks to us and we write it down in metaphors. He tells us, circumcise your heart. Your heart is your mind in the scriptures. You understand? Your heart can be a literal heart or it can be your mind. So if it can be two things, is he telling you to cut the skin off your mind too? It couldn't be. So now it gotta mean something else. Again, these are so-called Edomites or white people that are always so damn literal with everything. Black people are a metaphorical people. That's how we get down. So I'm trying to find something else. Let's look at Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 12, because this should be simplicity. This should be simplicity. And they call this absurd. 23 and verse 12. Thou shalt have a place also without the camp, whither thou shalt go forth abroad, and thou shalt have a pattern. Excuse me, hold on. Yeah, 12 through 14. And thou shalt have a paddle upon thy weapon, and it shall be, when thou wilt ease thyself abroad, thou shalt dig therewith, and shalt turn back and cover that which cometh from thee. Now, they got a problem with saying, with the Lord saying that when you are out at camp and you out in the wilderness, you should dig a hole to drop your feces and your urine in. Because he don't want you to step in your own feces in the camp. And he don't want to cause disease. This is what I mean. They try to laugh and say that, oh, that's dumb, that's absurd for you to dig a hole and cover up your feces when we know now about the bubonic plague that happened in Europe. We know about the rats that ate the feces, crawled in these Edomites' homes, crawled all over their food, and hundreds of thousands, then millions of people died from a plague because they were dumping their feces out the window. They was dumping their feces straight out the door onto the streets where the children were playing. They didn't have irrigation systems. But it's absurd for us to dig a hole and drop feces. I don't think that makes any sense. Let's just keep going. They said that was a problem. Talking trees. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna skip past that. They talking about the prostitute gets gang raped by a gang of perverts, then dies, then gets cut up into 12 pieces. This is everyday life. And then being cut into 12 pieces. First of all, she was not a prostitute. That was a man's wife. She was a concubine who went off and played a whore and went back to her father, and the man took her back. And then when people came to the city, like they did with Lot, they took this man's wife, they gang raped her all night, put her back on the steps. By the time she made it to the door, she died. The man cut up the woman, sent her to all 12 tribes throughout the nation of Israel, and they went to war with the Benjamites because of the evil that they had done to this woman. That's not absurd. That's what I'm saying. This is everyday life stuff. This is stuff that, again, take the spookiness off of it. Like, people think that the Bible is just something that, oh, it gotta be all magical and all, all fairy dust. Like, no, there is no fairy dust in it. These are everyday real life situations that can happen easily. Easily. Let's keep going. God smites the people of Ashdod with hemorrhoids in their secret parts. Hemorrhoids in your penis or your vagina is not uncommon. Let's keep going. Goliath was 10 feet tall. Are there no 10 feet tall people in the world? Let's look at some of these basketball playing people. Let's see how tall they are. Matter of fact, let me just do the tallest man in the world. Let's do that. Let's just do that. Tallest man in the world. So the tallest man stood 8 feet 1 inch tall. Now that is what they measured. That's just what they measured and that they know of. Did you see Zariah jump? Oh, okay. That's just what they measured and what they know of. That ain't them going into every village in Africa, every village in damn China, and every other place to find out the tallest men. That was the dude that played on the damn Rush Hour movie. He was probably 10 feet tall. The one that Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker had to fight. He was probably 10 feet tall. So to say that Goliath was 10 feet is How is that such an astronomical, crazy thing? David kills a lion and a bear. Not difficult. This is insane. These things that these people have brought up. This is insane. This is literally some of the most simple. This is childish. If I could just put a word to it, this is childish. Elijah shows that he is a man of God by burning 102 men to death. These were men that were coming to kill him, and Elijah called fire from heaven. And the Most High killed these people. Elijah couldn't kill these men or call fire from heaven by him of himself. He didn't say Elijah make fire come down from heaven. He said, Lord, if I'm a man of God, make fire come down from heaven and consume these people. It's simple. This what happened. Man, let's keep going, man. Um, Again, they're bringing up just stories of everything that's going on, and these are the things that they're calling absurd. Let's read 43. An angel of the Lord kills 185,000 men while they sleep. That's simple. The chief of David's captains killed 300 men with his spear at one time. That's not difficult to do if you can kill. Samson killed 1,000 men, and they tried to bring it up too, like that was difficult. Second Chronicles chapter 13, verse 3 and 4. Let's look at this really quick. Second Chronicles chapter 13. Go there. Everybody follow me there. Oh shit. My bad. Second Chronicles chapter 13. I think it said verse 4. And Abijah stood upon Mount Zeruiah, which is in Mount Ephraim, and said, Hear me, thou Jeroboam, and all Israel. So they're saying because he spoke to the Israelites, it says all Israel. This says that he spoke to 1,200,000 people. Again, when it says all Israel, it don't mean every man, woman, child, cat, dog, and person. That ain't even how we relay messages. We speak with loud tones, yes. And people hear us, yes. But guess what? We relay the message from the captains down to the officers, down to the troopers, down to the students, down to the sisters, down to the children. That's how it works. We relay the message. Simplicity, y'all. Simplicity. Ahaziah is 2 years older than his father. Let's look at this. This is not smart. All right, so I'm sorry. It was dumb. All right, Second Chronicles 22. Let's go there. Because this one is saying Ahaziah is 2 years older than his father. Let's look at this. Second Chronicles chapter 22. And the inhabitants of Jerusalem made Ahaziah, his youngest son, king in his stead. For the band of men of the Arabs to the captain had slain the eldest. So Ahaziah, the son of Jehoram, king of Judah, reigned. 42 was Ahaziah when he began to reign. So Ahaziah was 42 years old when he began to reign. And he reigned 1 year. Okay. Now, 20 and 2. They want us to read 20, 21 and 20. Excuse me. So 21 and 20, that's the one we just read. No. 30 and 2 years old was he when he began to reign. And he reigned in Jerusalem 8 years and departed without being desired. Howbeit they buried him in the city of David, but not in the sepulchres of the kings. So this is about who? Let me see. And he came up into Judah and breaking and carried away the substance that was found in the king's house and the sons and his wives, so that there was never a son left, save Jehoram, the youngest of the sons. Jehoaz, the youngest of the sons. And after all this, the Lord smote him in his bowels and in the curable disease. And it came to pass that in the time after the end of the 2 years, his bowels fell out for reason of sickness, and he died of sore disease, and his people made no burial for him, and the burning of the fathers. 30 and 2 years is when he began to reign, and he reigned. See, this is talking about a different person. This is not even the same person. This is not even the same person. That was talking about somebody else that died a horrible way. Jehoaz. That is not okay. Let's just move on. That's not even him. So now, excuse me. We'll go through a couple more, and we'll just keep moving. All right. So let's go to Psalms 139 and 8. Psalm 139 and 8. Let's go there real fast. This one says, God is in hell. Psalm 139 and 8. Let's look at this and see if it says God is in hell. Wow. Psalms 139 and 8. If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. Now, when we go and do the research, again, a lot of this just boils down to people not understanding Israelite culture, them not understanding Hebrew, and them not understanding simple English. And this is simple English. Anytime we see the word hell, first of all, hell, let's just deal with that. Hell in the Bible and hell in Christianity are not the same thing. Hell in the Bible is on earth. Hell in Christianity is somewhere you go when you die. So now that we have that understanding, we can read the scripture differently. So when it says, if I make my bed in hell, you are there too, think about it. That means if I make my bed on earth, or if I make my bed in depth of my solitude, if I make my bed in a terrible position, in a desolate place, in a ridiculous condition, in an unrighteous situation, wherever I am, this is saying the Most High God is there. This is that simple. It's not saying that he's in a fiery place, because that's not even spoken of in the Bible. Before I even try to address hell, before I even try to address what a Christian will say, well, God is in hell. Well, tell me what hell is first and foremost. Before I even try to defend what you're saying, tell me where hell is according to the Bible and what it is according to the Bible. Let's go. Says God swears by himself. There's nothing wrong with that, for him to say that I swear by myself or I swear by my name. We do it all the time. That's on me, I'm going to take care. On me, I'm going to do this. On me. That's the same thing. We do it all the time. We say on mamas, on my brother, on whatever, on my kids, on whatever, on everything. That's just what we do. Let's keep doing it. Let's keep going. They're talking about crisis miracles. What happens when a demon leaves the body? Christ walking on water. Christ calling Peter Satan. That's let's. I'm trying to find a good one before we get out of here. But we down to number 17 so far. Rich people don't go to heaven. The scriptures never says that. It says it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter into heaven. It don't say rich people don't go to heaven. It says that it's very hard for them to get into the kingdom. Oh my God. Here they go with the all again. All the kingdoms of the world. Let's keep moving. Uh, Shadow having miraculous powers, long hair is a shame. Christ went to hell. That doesn't say that. 144,000 Jews will be going to heaven. Everyone else is going to hell. Let's just read that real quick because that is completely wrong. 144,000 Jews go to heaven and everybody else going to hell. It doesn't even say that. We know it don't say that. If 144,000 people that's it get to go to heaven, but it's billions of people on earth. All right. So let's get to the 144,000. So this is the 144,000 because first of all, it's not Jews. This is 144,000 Israelites. And it says, hold on one second, I'm trying to find it. Yeah, and I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. That's what you got to understand. It's 144,000 of the children of Israel, and this is not about them just only going to heaven. This is about them having a different song and knowing something different, and this is the ruling class that is going to rule the kingdom of heaven. Everybody, this is what y'all gotta understand. In a sense, everybody goes to heaven. In a sense, everybody is gonna be in the kingdom because the kingdom of God is going to be on earth. But your position in the kingdom is what's gonna be determined. How well you doing, what you're gonna be like in the kingdom. Because you can come back in the kingdom and be crippled, deaf, and dumb. Or you can come back able-bodied and great and good. You can be one of the 144,000 and be a ruler. Or you could just be a doorman. You could be a pooper scooper. You could be homeless. You know what I'm saying? You could be in poverty in the kingdom. In the richest kingdom on earth, and you could be in poverty. This is the life that you can live. But I just wanted to go into this and dispel some of these lies, clear up some of these things that people might have some questions about. That's 101 things, but again, a lot of it was just condescending talk. A lot of it was just, well, I don't believe in that. A lot of it was just, oh, that's dumb that happened. That's all it was. It wasn't things like, oh, this is a contradiction or this don't make sense at all. These are real life situations. These were things that could happen today, tomorrow, and yesterday. So for them to try to come up with these things and be like, oh, well, God did this. This was talking trees. For them to say like, well, you know, he said all the countries. we're not simple like that. We don't think like that. We don't work like that. We have never worked like that. God doesn't work like that. Remember, we don't think linearly. We think circularly. So we think in a roundabout system, roundabout time. We don't go by a specific, this is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want 1.346784. Nah, we just be like one. That's how we think because that's how the Most High made us. And he thinks the same. We are the people that is to give the understanding of the Most High God unto the world. We're the ones that are supposed to break these things down because as y'all see, when we leave it to everybody else, now everybody is confused about this. Everybody is confused about this book right here. And no one knows how to read it for some reason. People, it's crazy how you can read any book in the world, all the scholars and everything, and they can understand what a metaphor is. But for some reason, when you go into the Bible, the damn trees got to be talking. For some reason, when you go into the Bible, the damn snakes got to be talking. But in any other story, you go into a Hyssop fable, you go into the Greek tales, you go into the Roman fables, you go into the Jewish fable, you go into anything else. And they always understand, oh, that's just a metaphor. Oh, that don't really mean that. Oh, this word got different meanings. Oh, this word got two. Even in the English language, one word got 2 and 3 and 4 different meanings. But for some reason, when it comes to this Bible, it all got to be straightforward and to the point. Even when it's spiritual magic, you understand, or something crazy going on in here. They want to say, oh, no, that's the way that it happened back then. But you never see it happen again today. Just think about these things the next time you pick up this book. This is why we say you have to come into the ISUPK to get the understanding. This is why we say you got to talk to a priest and prophet of the Most High God to even get understanding of this Bible, because everyone else will have you confused and have you thinking that God is a genie and a magic worker. It will have you thinking that there's really contradictions in here. But when you ask them, pull out the contradictions and let's see if they stand up against what's really in here, they always say, well, no, I don't believe in that, or that's just your belief. Even though the words are here, even though we can go into the Hebrew, go into the culture, go into the tales, and you know what I'm saying, go into the spoken word of it and make it all simple. They don't want to do that. They don't even want to believe this. They don't want to believe this because this makes you do something. This makes you change who you are. And people don't want to do that because we're all comfortable being who we are. No one wants to change. Change for what? I'm good with who I am. Nah, this right here make you do that. This right here dispels all lies and make you believe in truth. That's what this does. So if you want to learn the truth, you want to learn your culture, if you're a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian so-called, then you should come into the ISUPK tonight. Make sure that you reach out, ISUPK.com, reach out to any school, any priest, captain, officer, general in your city, any trooper, any brother, any sister, anybody that's in the UPK. And we gonna get you straight and get you on the right path, I guarantee you. And with that, I just want to say shalom to all my brothers, shalom to all my sisters, and I'll see y'all next week. Shalom, Israel.